Hello and welcome to another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix of Echo. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get it free on itch.io. But if you want to support the people that made this game and are making other games, then you can go on the Patreon, which is $3 a month for, early access to the other games. So, in the last Let's Play, we woke up in the middle of the night again. Carl was gone, but there was a strange sound, so he went to the basement, and Carl was sleepwalking. Scared the heck out of both of us. And then Thursday came around, where he's playing video games, and we went to the basement to do research, and we found, basically the history of James Hendrix 1. I think that's pretty much all we got so far. And, oh yeah, more spooky stuff like windows being knocked on but nobody's there. Crazy. So we're gonna reset our face. Again, gotta do all that movement. And start. When I get upstairs though, Carl's asleep. His controller is still above his head, clutched in his paws, as if he's fallen asleep the moment I left. On the screen, his character is immobile, standing in the middle of some hut. A single NPC stands in front of him, walking back and forth. Every now and then, it stops in front of him, exclaiming, "What are you doing in my hut?" I reach out and place a paw on his shoulder, and he immediately opens his eyes, snoring loudly, just thinking of him being like, "You're not supposed to be here," or "Somebody's here doing something here they shouldn't." He sits up and rubs his face, snoring again as he breathes deeply. "Did you go downstairs?" "Huh? What happened?" It's almost funny how utterly confused he looks, as if he's acting he's doing some dang good job at it. I heard some noises downstairs, so I thought it was you. "No, I don't think so." Things are moved around too. He takes in a deep breath before blowing it out. "I told you, man, this place is haunted. I wasn't joking." We both look at each other for a moment. Finally, Carl breaks the awkward silence. "So, how'd it go, aside from the ghosts?" "It went alright. Just 3 hours and a bunch of research." He looks at me blearily. "Oh shit, seriously? I was gonna come down after a while. I just fell asleep." "Yeah. Anyway, we're supposed to go out today." "Really?" "Yeah. Remember? You said so a few days ago." Carl looks around. "Well, what do you want to do?" "I think. Don't you have some interview tomorrow?" "Don't remind me." Carl picks up his controller again, and I frown. "Well, I was thinking we could go out and maybe give you a new look." Carl frowns, clicking away at his controller. "Like what?" "Well, you've been wearing this shirt for the past 3 days. Or 5. We need to get you a new something. At least put in the laundry." "Well, your clothes for one. Do you have any dress clothes?" You don't? Seriously? Have you ever had an interview before?" "Well, yeah. It's just that I've, grown out of them." "Uh-huh. Well, we'll definitely need you to get some of those." I look at his beard thoroughly. Maybe we should give you a more clean-cut look?" Carl doesn't say anything, instead goes frowning. I put a paw down on his controller, force him to pause. "Come on, it could be fun. You can't stay in this house, in this room, forever." He finally does look at me, then his expression kinda sad. "What's wrong?" Carl looks away, then stands up slowly, his joints popping. "Nothing. If it makes you happy, then why not?" "Great. Just so you know, I'd rather play some video games with you." "I know, but come on, man." It's tempting. Just watching Carl play is a lot of fun. What with his style and commentary, but this is more important. Though, this is the, 2010s and stuff like that? And he plays video games and has fun commentary. He could be a YouTuber. Make millions! I don't know. He's also furry anyway, so he's got that ahead. Unless we can make him an e-girl. I really want to help him out. Maybe later tonight. Let's get this done first. Apparently, your great-great-great-great-grandfather was accused of sodomy. What? Carl looks up from his phone, his muzzle winking. A wrinkling? Yep, with John Begay, who I'm almost positive is a relative of Jenna, but I'd have to ask her. Are you serious? How'd you find that out? He pauses. And maybe don't ask Jenna about that? From what I can tell, your mom's trying to write a book. Carl strokes his beard. Oh yeah, she is, isn't she? Well, was, more like. I don't think she's worked on it in years. From the looks of it, she started it in college. Damn. Well, I do remember her saying it stressed her out a lot. Or that something happened to make her stop. Interesting. Carl seemed to be thinking. Actually, I think I remember her talking to my dad about how those old things freaked her out, or something. He shrugs. But we've always said the house is haunted. So then why is it that you stay? Neither of your parents lived there. You're wealthy. You can get a house somewhere else. Also, who's in this town? Like, I guess Flynn and, like, Leo, but, like, it's just those two. And maybe your local weed dealer? You could go to Peyton. You got TJ and Chase and Jenna there. Carl's phone starts buzzing. And speaking of Jenna, she's calling me. Carl looks a bit perturbed, but he puts on a cheerful voice as he answers it. Yo, whale ears. That doesn't make sense. Like, because it's big? What else do I have ears? That old name. As he listens to her response, I see a smile slowly slide off his face. I can hear the sharp, muffled tones of Jenna's voice, even though he's holding the phone on the other side of his face. I guess she cuts him off because he doesn't finish. I glare. Here, let me talk to her. The way Jenna acted yesterday, which isn't like her at all, is giving me a pretty good idea of what she's going off about right now. Carl doesn't give me the phone though, instead just staring out the windshield as we continue on the highway. Finally, he lowers the phone from his ear, then stares at the screen for a while. She hang up? Yeah, said something about how Leo's depressed now, and how us hanging out by ourselves isn't helping things. It is kind of weird that in all these routes we pretty much just... I know that it's like, you know, you're going with one of these people, but it is kind of weird that like we just stick with one person the entire time. Like, I can understand if you're going for Leo's route, it would be like, hey, you're getting old boyfriend again, so yeah, you're going to ignore people or something like that. But then it's like, you know. I roll my eyes. You know what? Fuck Jenna. She's been on one since Leo's day didn't go the way he wanted to. What? Yesterday? For some reason, she just wants to blame you. Yeah. Carl looks out the window, so he can't really gauge the mood he's in. Listen, let's get you something to eat first. I'll buy. No, my parents are rich. I'll pay. Fair enough. I can't exactly argue with that, so I don't. I also don't feel like I can leave it at that, so hesitantly, I reach out my paw and place it on Carl's shoulder. Seriously, let's have fun today, okay? Forget Jenna. He looks over at me and gives me his hand smile. I'm fine, Chase. I just want to get this over with, so we can go back and play some games. I sigh. Is that all you think about these days? Hey, lots of people play games for a living. Name one. Rob Lowe. That's a sport. I was like, wait, is there a Rob Lowe? Because Rob Lowe sounds like a guy. Still a game. I grin as I hear the jokey playfulness back in his voice, glad I'm able to take this mind off Jenna for a moment. Well, at least that keeps them active. Playing games all day will get you unhealthy. Fat? If you didn't notice, I'm already there. You're not that bad. I swear, you're mostly muscle. Then, I guess I've got nothing to worry about. But you should get out more. Why? I got the entire world in my world. I don't know. What about girls? They're in games too. Well, you can't exactly touch a boob with your actual paws in the game. We can invent that technology. I don't know. I swear, they got those in anime land. You know what I mean. Already done it. Not that great. You're a queer or something? I say that with a southern accent. You're a queer or something? Let's just say I don't label my sexuality. But we have to put everything in boxes? I let it sit for a second. That's a pretty queer thing to say. Guess I'm a pretty queer dude then. Is that so? Besides, until I'm able to see my hooves again, I don't think any girls are gonna be after me. I don't know. Girls have different types. Well, that's what we're doing right now. Trying to give you a new look, a fresh start. It'll boost your confidence and your appeal. You'll have girls and boys after you. Again, Carl doesn't act very enthused about that. I tell myself it's only because he has to go out. Once you get there, I'm sure he'll cheer up. He hasn't cheered up. I swear, every store in Peyton's Mall is dark and covered in neon. Carl stands there awkwardly, looking around as if unsure of what to do. So, what kind of look you want to go for? Carl looks at me like I'm crazy. Seriously, dude? I have no idea. You brought me here. Just work with this for the next hour, and I promise we can go to the game store next. Carl makes a big show of sighing, but I assume the twitch in his ears indicates he'd like that a lot. Well, it's just dress clothes, so it wouldn't be that big deal. Carl's getting all insecure the way he did during the surprise birthday party. It's kinda cute. Carl? Chase? The voice comes from behind me, and Carl smiles over my shoulder before I turn around. Raven? Huh, never seen that character before. A black and white, two-toned husky with just a few feet behind me, grinning, is just a few feet. How long's it been? Too long, man. What are you doing here? Thought we moved back after Dad got fired. Now we're here. I could ask you the same about you, Chase. Oh, just on spring break right now. Do you work in the clothes store now? Raven laughs. No, I'm a store down. I work at Game Central. Carl perks up at that. So, you're still in school? Huh? Well, it's great to see you. Raven's accent is only slightly detectable now, the only noticeable foreign thing about him being his name. I wonder where it's like he's from. Maybe because he's like Siberian Husky looking, he might be from Russia? So, what are you guys doing here? Getting clothes? Yeah, for Carl actually. He has an interview tomorrow. For some reason, Carl ducks his head at that, and though through his ears, I can see him blush deeply. Oh really? It's about time. I mean, I have had a job before. So, what kind of look are you going for? When Carl doesn't answer, I speak up. That's what we're trying to figure out just now, actually. Carl sinks further into himself, his hat seeming to fall further over his ears. Dude, it's just dress clothes, really. Well, I think you should get a red tie, at least. Might look good with your eyes, and maybe trim that beard? Since when are you a fashionista? Come on, Carl, at least try it out. Carl sighs, rubbing his forehead. Okay, fine, but only as long as we're out of here in the next hour. Hey, I gotta get back to work, but I'll be free in an hour. Let's catch up. I wave at Raven, then turn to Carl. Well, that was nice. Didn't think I'd ever see him again. Me neither, actually. I'd have to hang out with him more. Or I'll have to. I mean, I like Flynn, but having to put up with him just to get a ride to the store isn't always worth it. Well, anyway, if you're wanting to get out of here in an hour, we should probably get started. The process is a lot less painful than Carl makes it be, so I'm going to take my shirt off. Sorry, it was just an exercise day and it's like, I was sweating so much. Like, I didn't work out in that, but it's like, you know, I need to breathe more. Then it's a humid day because Texas. It's September. Oh, it's 90 degrees and humid. Soon enough, we're on our way to the food court. Carl carrying a bag way too big for the contents inside. We meet Raven again, and once we get our food, he suggests we eat outside. I look from my full combo meal to Carl's small, tiny container of tater tots. You're not hungry? Carl just shrugs and grins at me. You just don't know the ways of the fatty. Huh? We're judged all the time, especially when we're eating. He delicately bites the tater tots in half before adopting a sarcastic tone. Ew, gross. Of course he's eating. It seems kind of unfair. See, Raven thinks so too. The husky in the middle of middle of a huge bite of his Subway sandwich. His eyes on Carl. He swallows, ooh, before speaking. I can see that you're self-deprecating as ever. You know me. So, Chase, are you still dating that wolf? Leon? Leo, and no. I ignore the sidelong glance I get from Carl. Sorry about that. You two are actually really cute together. It's hard to know what to say when people comment on your relationship. If someone isn't homophobic, gay relationships are actually cute or adorable. Or maybe it's just the size difference, or was just size difference. But seriously, I've always wanted to date an otter. Ooh? Oh, really? Yeah, they're adorable. He likes cute guys. Swimming clowns. Do tell. Raven picks up on my sarcastic tone right away, but it doesn't seem to faze him. Oh, yeah. You know what they say about otters and blowjobs. Carl almost chokes on the last tater tot. Hell, Raven, you barely know him, and you're saying that shit? Carl's laughing, though. I'll sure keep my face passive. Oh, what do they say about otters and blowjobs? Raven laughs. You know, they never have to come up for air. 10 minutes, non-stop. Raven giggles, then makes a visible effort to keep a straight face. Sorry, I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable. It's just one of those jokes I always hear. You can imagine I do, too. And it's 8 minutes, by the way. Psh, I'd take that, too. Carl crumbles up the straw wrapper and flicks off Raven's bluish-looking nose, to which he simply smiles. Carl stands up. Hey, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Raven, don't be a dick. I'm not. We both watch Carl amble off before Raven turns back to me, the dopey smile back on his face. So, how long are you gonna be here, Chase? We need to catch up. I wonder what catching up means when our biggest interaction up to this point was dissecting a shark in high school biology. I always hated that shit, because I had to dissect a cow brain, I think a heart, a worm, and a squid or something like that, and it's like, why? You could get a plastic model and you're like, here's the heart, here's this, here's that, that's the organs. I have never in my years had to do anything related to dissecting animals. I'm not a vet and I'm not a doctor. I don't know why they do that. But then on the other hand, you know what I would like to dissect? A computer. You know? Because A, it's interesting. B, we use computers all the time. It might, if my computer breaks down, it might save me time having to go to a place, you know? Sunday school starts up again on Monday. Wait, Sunday. School starts again on Monday. It's like, Sunday school? What? Despite having a head start on the project thanks to Carl's mom, I still get nervous, twinge in my stomach. I still have a lot left to do. Voiceovers, B-rolls, and oh god, editing. We should hang out. His adorable excitement is barely contained, and I'm pretty sure I can hear the thumping of his tail against the curb we're sitting on. Despite my earlier offense at his stereotyping of otters, I'm reminded how much worse dogs get it. They're not common in Echo, or this side of the world, for that matter. Really? This side of the world? Or huskies, maybe. While otters are thought of as entertainers, I feel like it's better than dealing with being seen as a simpleton. So, the main reason I'm here is to do a news segment on Echo for class. Oh? It's gonna be on TV? I laugh. No, I mean, maybe. I could get into rotation on the college TV station, but otherwise no. Well, that's still pretty cool. But my point is that it's kinda boring. What? It's a bunch of writing, or mostly going through old stuff. Carl's family saved a bunch of artifacts from the old days. Whoa, so you're gonna actually touch the old stuff? Yeah. It's kind of a weird way to put it, but yeah. That sounds awesome. His outgoing nature is kind of infectious. I smile. Well, if you're really interested, I wouldn't mind having some help. It's great. I had the next 2 days off. Cool. We can ask Carl when he gets back. It takes a while for the ram to return, but when he does, he seems a bit reluctant to agree to the idea, which kind of surprises me. But eventually, we convince him and make plans for Raven to come over the next day. As we're heading back out to the car, I nudge Carl, forcing him in to slightly stumble. What's up? What do you mean? I try to keep my tone light. You seem a bit down, actually. You have all day. Carl shrugs. I nudge again, and he giggles. I don't know, just kind of awkward coming out here and having the two of you just examine me like that. Oh, yeah? Yeah, dude, it just feels kind of weird is all. I stay silent for a moment, wondering if I'd made the right decision in doing all this. Well, I'm just trying to help you out, you know? I know, bro. It's cool. Seriously, I've been thinking. Oh no. Your main problem is worrying about going out in public, like social anxiety. Whoa, now you're sounding like Jenna. We get in the car, and he smiles at me over the roof while unlock the doors. I feel like if we can break through that, it'll help you out a bunch. I break on eye contact as we both slide into our respective seats. And I think this job will be a huge part of that, so I really want you to get it. As I lean in to pull out my seatbelt, I feel something soft and warm pressed to my cheek. It only lasts for a second, then it's gone. I look over at Carl, but he's looking out the window. You just kiss me? Yeah, bro. Are you high? No, I mean, maybe. He giggles. So, yes. I slowly pull out of the parking space. So, roadhead? Just saying. You don't have to. If he hadn't made the move on me last night, I might have been a little more shocked. Where the hell did you get high anyway? Alley behind the mall. Charming. Yeah, pretty sure. I got a few needles stuck in my hooves. We drive in silence for a while, Carl looking at the desert scenery while I squint out the windshield, trying to see through the hazy orange sunset. I did mean that, by the way. What? Just thanks. Sure. I don't know what else to say, so I leave it at that while I drive along in pleasant silence. Carl still seems to be a little sad, and I can't pinpoint why. I'm hoping that it's just a phase. That by the time this interview is over, he'll be able to just get past the anxiety and finally be done feeling like a failure at everything. It's spooky. Again, it's like, do we end it here or not? I guess we try it. I wake up to the feeling of a familiar, numbing heaviness in my body. I try to move, tugging at what feels like a massive weight on my arms and legs, but all I can manage is to wiggle my fingers. It feels like someone's pressed down my chest, trying to suffocate me. Carl, get off! And something in the room with me. I can't help myself. I open my eyes. A blood-red glow fills Carl's room, as if from a nightlight covered in blood. The sight would have made me whimper if I was able to make any kind of sound. My eyes flick around the room. It looks strangely empty, a lot more empty than I remember it, as if Carl is in the middle of a move, and he's packed up all his toys and decorations. In fact, the only thing I recognize in his room is his bed, the blankets tossed back and empty. I'm alone. Okay, that did all of a sudden send a chill up my spine, because I wasn't thinking there was going to be a clown going hee hee hee, or witch. I hear a chuckle right next to my ear, and it's straight out of a horror movie. Whatever it is, it's right out of my line of sight, and I can't turn my head to see what it is. My heartbeat picks up, and I sigh to close my eyes, knowing that nothing good will come out of opening them. I'm breathless, heavy in my ear for a while, then stops. The weight lifts off my body, and I feel its presence leave. I sit up and open my eyes again, and sigh in relief. But then I realize the room is empty, and so is Carl's bed. Die. Something yanks me out of bed, and suddenly I'm being pulled by both my feet down the hallway. Down the stairs. Down the basement. Towards the crawl space. Into darkness. Furry legs crawl over my body, and pin pricks pierce every inch of my flesh. I'd give anything to be able to scream right now. I gasp and jolt out from the paralysis. I wait a good 10 seconds before I'm convinced I'm really out of it. Carl snoring loudly in his bed, one arm dangling over the side, while his belly rises and falls. I sit up and rub my face, wondering how the hell I'm going to get back to sleep after that. Jesus Christ, these episodes, like these days are super freaking quick. I'm going to roll back a hard second so that I can start the next episode on that. Because I'd have to look at things. I'm just going to look back at here since we got time, but we're running out of content. So it's like, yeah, like some of the other episodes in this are like, at least looking at Jenna's briefly that I have stored here, like maybe 3 episodes, which seems like Carl's is like 1 episode a day, more or less. 2 at most? Except for, the last days. Huh. And definitely not like Sileo. God. Like, that game, like, it has some really nice UI and all that stuff. Because, while this one's like month, day, time, that one's like, hey, you got the month, day, but for some reason I don't think year. You got which route you're going for. You got the day it's on. You got the character's name if that's important. If you completely forget who somebody is, you can go to the gallery and look at what the character is, so you can be like, that's the one. But the fault of that game is that some of those days, especially in ties where you're like, okay, this has been over 3 months of episodes, which is about about 6 hours of reading, or more, because I continue to keep going, stuff like this. Like, my God, you really need to learn how to cut down on all this stuff a bit. You're chewing the scenery till it's mush. You've atomized it. Anyways, end of this Let's Play. So comment, guys, I like comments, if you like, dislike, tips, tricks, otherwise. If you like my YouTube, and kind of want to be like, like my YouTube and would like to grow, then please like, subscribe, and check out the videos that grow, and please remember to spay new animals to help control the pet population. And until next time, let's play me, GamerWolfSix of Echo. Oh, and I think if you want to play this game free on itch.io, but if you want to support people that made this game and are making other games, you can go to Patreon, where it's $3 a month for this and other games. Or other games, really. And until next time, let's play me, GamerWolfSix of Echo. So thanks and see ya.